Hi, this is Jewel Diamond Taylor, and I've been asked to provide my top 10 secrets for success. Of course, there's more than 10, but I think what I'll do is I'll focus on the ones that are most recurring themes when I'm asked to do a keynote presentation or when I'm doing life coaching. There's some constant themes that seem to come up when people feel stuck, when they are frustrated, when they feel like a failure, when they're fatigued and they're tired and burned out and just don't know what to do. Well, there is a secret I love to share with you, and I talk about it so much in all of my books. And two of the books I talk about it a lot in are my book, Success Gems, and another book I wrote, Shift, S-H-I-F-T, Shift Happens. And so that brings me to the point. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Why? Because shifting will happen. Stuff happens. You just got to stay focused. What do you want to do? You want to write a book? You want to retire? You want to get your children through college? Or you want to get through college? Do you want to start a business or a ministry? Are you trying to get clean and sober? Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you just want to have a stronger prayer life or more confidence. Maybe you want to start public speaking. Well, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Because on the way, you're going to experience setbacks and challenges and obstacles and temptations, a change of plans, a change of weather, a change in you, a change in the people around you. And when I think about goals, I also interchange it with the word intention. When I get an intention and I put my attention on my intention, put some energy behind it, things begin to happen. If you want to experience some momentum and results, get focused. Keep the main thing the main thing. This is one reason why we love athletes. They're so focused. They're focused on the end game. When it comes to football, it's about the end game. They put it all on the field, and they have a coach, and they're focused on the ball. So when you're carrying the ball, what is it? What is that goal that you're carrying? What is it that you want to achieve? You're trying to lose some pounds? You're trying to have a healthier life? You want to get clean and sober? You want to travel? You want to start a business? You want to start a blog? You want to get your website up? You want to get more customers? You want to have more peace in your life? You want to improve your family life? Well, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. Because things are going to come up against you. I mean, a football player gets on the field ready and expecting opposition. They're not surprised when the enemy comes. They're not surprised when the opposition comes. They play in the rain. They play when they're hurt. They keep the main thing the main thing. What a great metaphor for you and I to learn and to adopt into our mindset so that we're not easily beset by circumstances. As you move toward your intention and your goal, your task, your project, your dream, you may experience the loss of a loved one. You may experience bad weather, a car accident. You get laid off. Project gets delayed. Deadlines get pushed back. Change of staff. Change of heart. Sometimes you may not even have enough confidence in yourself, or someone said something or someone did something, and all of a sudden you lose that energy and that get up and go just got up and went. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. You have to learn how to say no to people. You have to say no to those invitations and those temptations that get you derailed and get you off track. Keep the main thing the main thing. Now, what is the main thing? Do you have it written down? Have you visualized it? Have you shared it with anybody? I think when it comes to being committed to a goal, a project, a task, a dream, a purpose, when I hear the word committed, I often think, well, maybe that's how they came up with the word committee. A committee is a team of people that are committed to making something happen. A profit line, more customers, efficiency, excellence, branding, marketing. They are committed to an end result. And that's what I do as a life coach. You know, we all need somebody that we can be accountable to. Someone that's going to hold your feet to the fire and keep your hand on the plow. Someone that you have to be accountable to. And what I find is that when people are isolated or single and there's no one there to make sure they're taking their vitamins or exercising or eating the right food or doing their study time or getting to the meeting or turning off the television, we kind of slip and you kind of procrastinate and you get off track and you talk yourself out of doing what you know you need to do. So get yourself a committee. I don't care if it's a committee of 1 or 2 or 3, but get some people around you that are going to hold you accountable and that want your best interests. And they're not going to be speaking naysaying into your ear. You don't want the haters on the committee. You want people that got you and that want to see you win, and they want to see the end game with you or for you. It's so critical. I write about it in my books. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Be the superintendent of your life. Superintend that you're going to make it happen. Superintend that you're going to stick with it no matter what. Okay, you may get off track sometimes. You know, the deadline may be pushed up a little bit. It may not happen exactly when you want it to happen. But when you have a committee to help you stay committed, they will help you with the how, the when, the why. And, you know, you need to know why you're doing it, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, who you're going to do it with. And I promise you, if you can get that figured out, and you get clarity with your goal and your intention and your focus, you'll start to see some progress and you won't be so easily burned out and you won't put so much on your plate. Some things have to go. Some things have to have a low priority. What's on your A list and what's on your B list. And if you focus on your A list, make sure you got a plan B if something happens. Because shift will happen. I promise you. So you got to have a made up mind. You got to be convicted. You got to be confident that you're going to stick with it no matter what. Getting clean and sober. Getting rid of those extra pounds. Finishing that book. Taking that class. Building up your self-esteem. Healing from your wounded past. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. Because you're powerful and you can do it. You're a giant. You are an achiever. Be around the shakers, the movers and the shakers. Be around people that are on fire. Be around people that are making things happen. Because when you're in proximity of power, when you're in proximity of other people that are focused and doing things, they don't have no time to talk about you. They're not trying to get in your way. They're so focused on what they're doing. But sometimes you need to get in the proximity of power of people that are doing things so that it'll be contagious, and that energy and that focus and that enthusiasm and that perseverance and that stamina and that faith begins to rub off on you. This is just number 1. I got 9 more to go, and they're not coming to you in any order of importance. They're just the top 10 that I think will really empower you and take you to the next level. Thank you for watching. Intangible goals. I believe in setting intangible goals. What do I mean by that? I mean, a lot of times we're asking and believing God for material things. I want a new car. I want a new house. I want to have a better body. I want to have a better relationship. I want a better job. I want a business. I want to travel. But I believe that sometimes we put those things out of order. That if we have the intangible goals such as courage and discipline and faith and self-worth, time management, anger management, if we're able to manage our emotions, if we're able to have discernment and wisdom so that we can choose wisely, I believe that if we have more courage and boldness, I believe that if we are more disciplined with our time and we overcome procrastination, I believe if we find ourselves worthy of having the goals, those are the magnets that attract those things to us. But I believe a lot of times people are asking God for stuff and they haven't even changed. They haven't even, you always hear about people that win the lottery and they lose it shortly after that because nothing changed on the inside. If they were a high spender, if they were selfish before, if they had some poor time management skills and money management skills, that money, they just blew it. If they were a people pleaser, they gave it away to everybody else. So we have to work on the inside before we start asking for things on the outside that are material. I have counseled with many women that have had drastic surgery, bypasses, tummy tucks to change their body image. And you know what? I've seen them lose 100 pounds. I've seen them drop in dress sizes drastically. But you know what didn't change was their opinion of themselves. They still were self-loathing. They still couldn't accept a compliment. They still looked in the mirror and saw the old person because nothing changed on the inside. I've seen women, you could walk up to them and tell them, you look beautiful. And they can't receive it. We have to really watch the thoughts that we hold on to. Listen, all of us at some point in our lives, maybe several times, will find ourselves sitting in a classroom at a university. And the university is called the University of Adversity. Yeah, pain. The kind of pain that takes your breath away. The kind of pain that makes you feel like you're going to die. The kind of pain that makes you feel you've been forsaken and that you just can't get through it. And so I love teaching a coping skill called resiliency. And that's what I talk about with my t-shirts and my books. The ability to cope with pain and bounce back. Pull your big girl panties up, pull your grown man pants up and suck it up. Get over it, get through it, move forward. Don't let it kill you. Don't lay there and die. Get up from that pool and know that you can make it, you can endure it, you're going to be all right. But you have to know how to be resilient. A feedback I got from my sister when she was going through her divorce several years ago, and she was in heart-wrenching pain, and I felt bad, and I wanted to help her, and I wanted to fix it, and I wanted the pain to go away. And I realized that, when we're baptized in our tears and our blood and our sweat and our pain, when we're baptized in our own tears, we have to come up out of that pool a different person. We have to come up and realize that we have to walk by faith and not by sight. And so when she would call me crying and overwhelmed, I love what she shared with me. She says, Jewel, what you said to me that helped me to get going again. She said, Jewel, you've got to pray with your feet. And I love that because it's so true. Prayer without works is dead. You can't just lay there and just ask God to fix it for you. You have to get up and do your part and be a co-partner with God, a co-creator, and know that you have to take action when you're feeling overwhelmed with pain. And you have to embrace the pain. Pain comes as a teacher. What is your pain teaching you? I'm going to say it again. Pain is a teacher. It wakes us up or it can shut us down. It's like a diamond. When pain comes, it can either polish you up and make you brighter, or it can crush you into tiny pieces. Pray with your feet when you find yourself in a storm. Pray with your feet when you find yourself in the classroom at the University of Adversity. Get in the front row, pay attention, take notes, because pain is teaching you something. It's teaching you about discernment. It's teaching you about courage. It's teaching you about faith. It's teaching you about other people. It's teaching you life. It's teaching you how to endure. It's teaching you how to go for it. It's teaching you how to believe in yourself. It's teaching you about consequences of choices. It's teaching you about relationships. Pain is a teacher. It's teaching you that life is full of cycles and seasons and changes. Life brings to us things we cannot change and we cannot fix and we cannot control. What is pain teaching you? Get in the front row of the University of Adversity. Take notes. Pay attention so you don't have to take that class again. And if you do find yourself in that class again of pain, look at your notes and remember that God brought you through the last time. Remember what you did the last time. Remember how you affirmed yourself. Remember how you connected with the right people. Remember how you walked by faith and not by sight. Look at your notes and remember what pain taught you the last time. God bless you and stay in the light.
Being on the road for 30 years as a motivational speaker, life coach, and author, I tend to sometimes take for granted my journey and my testimony. And I'm always reminded by my sister Joy and others how important it is to share how I took my leap of faith, how I jumped off the cliff, how I just walked by faith and not by sight. 30-something years ago, I walked away from my job at aerospace industry here in Southern California. and began my speaking platform as a motivational speaker. One of the first women of color to do it. I had no role models at the time to show me how to do it. I never took a class in Toastmasters. I just knew that there was a compelling desire, purpose inside of me, and I was going to just do it. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coach. I never took a class. No one gave me permission. I just jumped. I took that leap of faith. I walked by faith and not by sight, and haven't turned back since. I had no idea, though, when I did that I'd be speaking in London, Jamaica, Brazil, Cancun, the Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos, St. Kitts, 35 of the United States, and coming up soon I'll be speaking in South Africa and Hawaii. Man, oh man, what happens when you jump, when you leap, when you jump off the cliff and you go for it? Amazing things begin to happen. Did I know what I know now? Did I have the experience I have now? Of course not. All of that comes. The wings are developed as you soar. The resources come. The confidence is built. Your resume is built. People come and go out of your life. But I tell you, I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now. I am so happy because I know at this stage of my life that our life is nothing but a vapor. And I want to be able to know that I have fulfilled my purpose. And to know that I was willing to jump, I was willing to leap, not knowing if I'd land. I'm wondering if it's because I'm wired as a right brain person. Some people are very dominant left brain thinkers, and left brain thinkers are strategists. They suffer from paralysis of analysis. They overthink, they strategize, they're very linear. Things have to go in a certain order, and when they don't go in a certain order, it stresses them out. And so if you are a left brain thinker, you may never jump. You may never take a leap of faith because you are overthinking, overanalyzing, doing the research, and you think you're doing something, but what you need now is the faith to go ahead and leap. I mean, as a right brain thinker that I am, I can tend to be impulsive, but I'm grateful that I'm wired in such a way that I'm not fearful of trying something new. I love adventure. No 2 days are the same. No 2 speaking engagements have been the same. I have spoken at colleges and schools and military bases and hospitals and government agencies. You name the letters, I've been there. EPA, IRS, FDIC, the Pentagon. I mean, the list goes on. So I left human resources in the aerospace industry to jump, to leap, to take a walk of faith, to walk into my purpose and my destiny. And so I'm glad I can share with you in this moment my testimony. So maybe it will encourage somebody else. Maybe I'll be that push for someone to say, go ahead. You've been standing at the cliff too long. You've been waiting for somebody. You want a golden parachute, and you don't need that. What you need is faith. You got to obey that golden gut. I remember speaking at an event years ago, and a man walked up to me and he said, Jewel Diamond Taylor, Jewel, I am sightless. I can't see anything. He said, but when you were speaking, I could tell and I could feel your passion. And he said, I simply want to say to you, thank you for following your golden gut. I will never forget that. What an affirmation. See, the affirmations have come after I took the leap, after I jumped. I didn't need affirmation. I didn't need validation. I didn't need permission. I just knew that it was my calling. But it's so wonderful to get feedback along the years to see that I'm still on purpose and I'm still valid and I'm still resonating with what people need to hear and what people need to know. So I want to encourage you today, if you're recognizing that you are wired to be a left brain person and you are overthinking, you're overanalyzing, you're strategizing, and you're waiting for the perfect moment, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And if you realize that you're a right brain person, now don't be too impulsive. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I was blessed. I'm married and I had a second income, and I was a very low maintenance person. I'd never been into name brand this and name brand that. I was willing to sacrifice. I put a lot of things on hold. I wasn't buying big ticketed items. I had 2 small children at the time. So I streamlined my life. I did discount shopping. Come on, somebody. I made my career track a priority. And so I chose to invest in what I was doing, because I knew that once I took that leap, once I jumped, I wanted it to work. I activated my faith by action. How are you going to activate your faith? See, one thing I know, I'm very comfortable in my skin doing what I'm doing. I know I was born for this. What were you born to do? Is it time for you to jump? Is it time for you to take a leap of faith? Are you waiting for somebody to come to the cliff and push you? Because sometimes life will push you off the cliff and you're like, ah! And you're scared. So go ahead. Do it, boo. Be one of many like me that can say, I was born for this.
Hello out there. I want to share with you a life lesson that I have learned, and that is the importance of belonging. And you know, I'm a big believer in creating and nurturing your own tribe. And some of you may have some issues with family and you need more than just your bloodline. Sometimes family has drama, grudges, secrets, pain, and they just don't get along, or it's just not enough. Some of you may be the only child, or there's long distance relationships, and maybe a lot of family members have deceased and moved on. It is so critical to your well-being to create your tribe. I believe that we were meant to be connected. I believe that we were not meant to be alone. And I think so many people do suffer because they find themselves isolated and alone. How tragic that is to me. I know for me that being connected and feeling like I'm a part of something is so critical to my well-being. I want to encourage you today to reach out to your tribe, create your tribe, connect with your tribe, be a part of your tribe. And in our tribe, I love it because we know how to encourage one another, reach out to one another. We share memories together. Some of us travel together. We send cards. We lift one another up. We pray for each other. We laugh. We cry. And I'm telling you, when you're part of a tribe, you realize you can make it through this world. You can get through it. I love what Prince said, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to figure out this thing called life." And I find I can figure out this thing called life a lot better when I have my tribe around me. I want to give a big shout out to those that are in my tribe. I love you. I see you. And stay in the light. That when you wake up in the morning, it's like an invitation of hope to say, I won't give up. When I wake up in the morning, and sometimes I have sleepless nights and I'm still trying to navigate these waters of grief. When I wake up in the morning and I see that sun, it's an invitation. Come on, Jewel. Come on, Jewel. Breathe. Come on, Jewel. Let's just try it again. Come on, Jewel. Life is good. And I love what I heard the speaker, Glennon, say. She said that And what she was doing was confirming something I've been saying for a long time. I used to always send my sister this email. I would say, Joy, life is tragic. Life is mysterious. Life is beautiful. Life is painful. Life is crazy. Life is awesome. Life is full of pain. Life is full of joy. Life is unpredictable. Life can hurt you so bad. Life can be just an amazing journey. And when I used to say that, it was like I was having this healing of recognizing the polarity of life. There's a North Pole and there's a South Pole. And I was always trying to be right in the middle, the equator. And I realized that we're going to have moments of high moments and low moments. We're going to have moments of pain. moments of joy. We're going to have moments when we're like, what the heck? We're going to have moments when God is going to surprise us. We're going to have moments of unspeakable pain and unspeakable joy. And so as I was listening to this speaker, Glennon, she said, life is brutal and life is beautiful. And she came up with the term that life is brutiful. I thought that was so cool. Life is brutiful. Listen, you guys, I just want to share a quick thought with you for the day. You know, it's Christmas time and people are shopping and we're buying things online, Amazon and different stores. And you know, when you buy something from HSN or QVC, you know how it is when you keep checking and checking and checking and checking your porch and listening for the doorbell and waiting to hear the sound of the truck racing down the street with your package. That's called living with expectancy. And that's the same attitude we have to have with God. When we put in our order, that's what our prayers are. It's a faith order. And we have to live with expectancy. I remember years ago, probably about 30 years ago, when I first learned calligraphy, I used to have a calligraphy business. Calligraphy is that real fancy writing that you usually see on invitations and things like that. Well, I used to have a business and I would address envelopes. This was before computers. I would address envelopes. I would create wedding invitations, birthday invitations. I would create flyers and they would be all hand printed in calligraphy. That was a skill that I loved. I learned it and I never took a class, but I still know how to do it. And I remember making some bookmarks. This is before we had the computers, and I made some bookmarks, and the bookmarks said, "Expect a miracle." And each one was handwritten in calligraphy by me, and then they were laminated. And I've seen some people come up to me and say, "Jewel, I still have your bookmarks that I made like 30 years ago." And they all said, "Expect a miracle." But guess what? I don't have one. I don't even have one myself. But I love that phrase and that mindset, to live in expectancy of a miracle, to live in expectancy of a breakthrough, to live in expectancy of grace and mercy and favor. And so as you see yourself in the natural, waiting for that FedEx truck, that UPS truck, waiting for your delivery from Amazon or HSN or QVC, remember God. I mean, God can deliver. Yes, it may not be on your time schedule, but keep looking, keep waiting, keep looking down the street, keep waiting and keep hoping. Don't let faith die. Keep trusting the Lord and keep doing what you need to do. I love that old statement, if you take one step, God will take two. So even though God is a deliverer and he can deliver you from one situation to another, he can deliver you from darkness into light, he can deliver you from sickness into wellness, he can deliver you from pain into purpose, he can deliver you from sin into salvation, he can deliver you. Well, expect that it can happen for you. What God has done for me and what God has done for you, he can do for others. And so this is why our faith and our testimonies must be on display. Because people need to hear about the deliverer. People need to hear, don't give up. I've been called the encouragement whisperer because I love encouraging and whispering into people's ears. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
I want to give you a pearl of wisdom. Sometimes you do not get what you want because you don't ask. Do you know that every time you get a no, you're getting one step closer to a yes? And I want to encourage you today to get your ask on fire. Yeah, I tell you, there have been so many times that I allowed fear, doubt, low self-esteem, time, procrastination, what other people's opinions were, my past results. I allowed those things to keep my mouth shut, and I didn't ask for what I wanted. I have done things now because I pushed the envelope. I asked and I was consistent and I didn't give up. I was like a dog with a bone. I didn't let go. I had my ask on fire. I tapped into the scripture in Matthew 7 that says, if you ask, seek, and knock, the door will be open unto you. Just look at the word ask. The first letter is A for ask, S is for seek, and K is knock. You got to knock on the door. You got to seek. You got to open up your mouth. You've got to ask. You've got to network. You got to send the email, make the phone call, send the publication, send your contract, send your proposal, send your outline, send your question. Be clear, be concise, know what you're asking for, and be consistent. There's a thing called power of proximity. Get close to the people that make the decisions. If you're not near the people that make the decisions, then you're not in proximity of power. Find out who makes the decisions and ask and ask and ask. There is something waiting for you. There's a blessing, there's an opportunity. You can go to the next level when you learn how to negotiate and overcome the doubt and the fear and the rejection. Overcome that voice, that nagging voice that says, not now, it's not going to happen, they're not going to do it. Overcome it and realize that every time you hear a no, you're getting close to a yes. So change your perspective that when you hear a no, it doesn't mean it's final. It's just a delay. It's not final. So keep asking for what you want. Get your ask on fire. I am a living testimony. When I look back and think of all the times that I wasted because I was afraid, because I thought they didn't like me or they would say no, I wasted time, money, and opportunities because I lived in fear, doubt, and procrastination. So I want to encourage you today, get your ask on fire and don't miss your next opportunity and your next blessing. This is Jewel Diamond Taylor, your life coach.